Hello Central Unified, and thank you for tuning in to Central Live, a monthly video featuring some of the incredible things happening in our school district and a topic spotlight. My name is Gilbert Maggione, and I'm the Communications and Public Relations Officer. It's November, and this month our Central Unified students, staff, and foundation are giving back in multiple ways. We also have some important information on upcoming events that are sure to spread some holiday joy. This month's topic spotlight features a conversation on social media best practices and hoax threats. So let's get started. The annual Warm for Winter event, previously known as Coats for Kids, is helping even more students this year. This month, the Foundation for Central Schools partnered with the Assistance League of Fresno and Granville Homes to provide more than 2,000 students with winter wear. The event took place at Biola Pershing Elementary School, but several schools within the district benefited from the event. Fresno! Central Unified students are uniting to keep our city beautiful. Students from Central East and Justin Garza High Schools gathered on Saturday morning to make a positive impact on their community by cleaning up neighborhoods. Students picked up trash as part of Beautify Fresno's Youth Service Day. More than 40 bags of trash were collected. Central Unified recognizes November as Sikh Awareness Appreciation Month. Our district libraries are spreading the word by highlighting contributions made by the Sikh community through displays featuring literature, art, and notable figures. Some big changes are on the horizon when it comes to school start times. As required by Senate Bill 328, next year all California middle and high schools will have to push their start times back. We want to know what your thoughts are. Head over to our website and go to Late Start SB 328 under our Public Info tab. There you can access our Thought Exchange survey and give us your input. The survey will remain open through the end of November.
I'm on a mission to elevate myself, my family, my community, and Indian.
Central students involved in the Ujima Student Leadership Program continue to develop their skills. The program incorporates the rich and empowering history of African and African American contributors to promote personal healing, self and cultural awareness, and a community-building mindset. Some of their goals are creating a sense of belonging by providing opportunities for students, reducing student failure and dropout rates, and encouraging students to use their critical thinking to solve community problems. Justin Garza High School is rapidly reaching the end of Phase 1 construction, with the locker room, food court, and gym construction anticipated to be completed within the next month. Construction for the second phase of the school will be commencing next year, which includes ball fields, an aquatic center, and a visual and performing arts center. Our Holiday Joy food drive is now underway, and we need your help to keep the holiday spirit alive for so many of our district's families. You can join the cause by simply donating non-perishable food items. Our school district is currently experiencing a 70% food insecurity rate, and at some schools, that number is even higher. The Holiday Joy Food Drive runs through December 13th. For a list of drop-off locations, head over to centralfoundation.org. For many parents, having a conversation about social media safety with their students can be difficult, but it's much easier than the consequences associated with making a negative post. That's why this week we're having an open discussion on this serious matter with a Fresno police officer and one of our intervention counselors. We're joined by Officer Richard Lujan to discuss social media safety, awareness, and of course, hoax threats. So we're going to get right into it. Officer Lujan, talk to me a little bit about the consequences associated with making one of these threats.
Well, the biggest thing, I guess, the first to understand, it takes up a lot of our resources. So once that threat comes in, it's a big investigation from patrol officers, depending on the time of night, to detectives that get involved. So with the consequences comes, the ultimate is the arrest. Depending on the circumstances, the severity of it, it could ultimately lead to an arrest of the individual posting the threat. Some of the consequences that kind of go with that, law enforcement obviously being involved, us going to the person's house who made the threat, which obviously the investigation would lead us there. And that kind of becomes an inconvenience to the parents, because most of the time parents are unaware of the threat. So in order for us to deem that threat not credible, that's going to require us to search the individual's house. Depending on the cooperation of the student's parents, If they allow us to search the house, great. If they don't, that requires more resources, search warrants, so we can get into the house to make sure that the student doesn't have access to weapons. And obviously when we get further deep into it, there's more consequences down the road.
So when we talk about these consequences, can these have a lasting impact on someone's life?
Definitely. Some lasting effects. Obviously, in the event someone's arrested, that's gonna, that goes on your record. That essentially is on your background. That has a long-lasting effect for as far as college applications, because when schools do their backgrounds, they will find that. They're going to ask questions. Are you the right fit for them? Along with that is, what kind of job do you want? What kind of career do you want? You could end up on probation. You could end up on house arrest. You could end up on electronic monitoring. You could end up, your parents could end up being fined. There's so many longer lasting effects, as well as, hey, you've been arrested. Now you kind of go along that labeling theory. Well, now you're a felon. So, research kind of shows that if you've been labeled something and you keep hearing it, most of the time, are you going to turn into that? Are you going to, fall into that system?
Now we have another person joining us. We have Saul Zamora. He is an intervention counselor for Central Unified. All right, Saul, let's talk a little bit about how parents could have the conversation about hoax threats and social media responsibilities and safety with their students, because it could be a difficult conversation to have.
I think it's important for parents to realize that Central Unified is committed to the safety of all the children, and that there's a partnership that's required. Parents need to have an open and honest conversation with their children to talk about the online risks. I would encourage parents to check their children's profile regularly, make sure that personal and private information isn't going out there. That would be a good start.
So, Saul, why might some students make these threats?
There's a wide range of reasons why children make threats. On the one extreme, you have children that are bored, that are frustrated. You may have, no intent to harm anybody. At the other extreme, though, you may have children that are, experiencing aggressiveness, may be in need of psychosocial emotional support, and without the right intervention, could very well likely be on a what we call pre-attack path with pre-attack behaviors that could lead to targeted school violence. So it's important that parents utilize resources, including reaching out to site administrators, site counselors, site school psychologists. Then we can triage and determine the level of need or risk.
If a family does need resources, where can they get them?
I would encourage parents to reach out to their principals, request that a school psychologist or intervention counselor, talk to the child. We do that regularly. We are able to triage the risk, work with parents. And if there is a need for, psychosocial emotional support, we do have resources that we can offer to families in the school community.
Before we bring this Central Live to a close, we'd like to remind our families that there will be no school from November 22nd through the 26th. Have a wonderful break and a happy Thanksgiving.